you're looking for, oh, now we're live. So whether you're looking for a lender, a real estate agent, boots on the ground, a contractor, experienced sub-2 students, that's us. You should be able to find someone in the group that is in any market in the country, and has experience or a background in sort of what you're looking for. On top of that, if you come over to our files tab, we have a lot of good resources for you guys. We have frequently asked questions about how subject to works, seller finance. We actually have a purchase and sale agreement. This is a wholesale friendly contract for cash deals that you can use in all 50 states. We have an FAQ about selling on terms, a seller net sheet, a script for cold calling agents, an underwriting calculator, estimating repair costs, all that good stuff. So a ton of good resources in the files tab, all your guys is to have for free. And then we also have deal submission links. So that's one of the main reasons of the Elephant Challenge is, to learn how to get started in real estate, one bite size at a time. But also to joint venture, right? Real estate is very hard, especially if you're somewhat new to it, new to sales, new to underwriting, new to title companies and finding buyers, right? You can work your leads or work your deals with us. We have deal submissions. So whether you're direct to agent, direct to seller, we even have forms if you're already under contract. If you've already had a seller sign a contract, we have forms for that. So we can help you find a buyer if that's what you're needing. So definitely make sure you guys tap into the Facebook group. And then like Rachel said, we have our own YouTube channel that, type it in, where all of the Zooms are stored. Let's see. All right, and then here it is. Rachel, can you check who's unmuted? Got their TV on. So, and then here's our YouTube channel too. So if you guys want to see some of the Zooms that we've done in the past, definitely make sure you go subscribe to Angie's YouTube channel. If you come over to this live channel right here, a couple people watching on YouTube, that's exciting. So we've explored different markets, right? Which markets are good, which markets are not so great, how to call agents, how to underwrite deals, comp deals, handle subject to objections, how to find title companies, how to find buyers. So like you got whatever you guys are looking for, 90% of the time, or there's a 90% chance that we've already recorded a Zoom on it. So whether you want to know how to underwrite a deal and send an offer, we've done Zooms for that. So if you're struggling, like, hey, I have a motivated seller, but I don't know how to figure out the numbers, like what does a good deal look like? And then secondly, how do I write an offer? Am I filling out a full contract? Am I just writing a letter of intent? What does that look like? Check out some of these Zooms. We've definitely done that. Unfortunately, when we go live, we're not always positive what we're going to be talking about. So if you look in the comments, I forget her name. She might be in here, but she actually leaves you guys timestamps for when to, for whatever you're looking at. So like difficult agent call, foreclosure lists. Here's an agent called 1, 2, and 3 different agent calls, underwriting and making an offer. You can click that timestamp and it'll bring you to it. So just so you guys know, look in the comments of the YouTube videos and there might be some timestamps in there for you guys. So sweet. So let's go ahead and get started. We're up to 28 people now. So I think this would be good. Let's help some of you guys. Rachel, let me know what you think about this. Sort of like what we did at the mastermind, where we help, do a hot seat of someone and see what their markets are, where they're bottlenecked, where they think they need help, all that good stuff. Do you like that idea?
Yeah, I don't want to deep dive too much, like 15-20 minutes for one person, unless it will be beneficial for people. But yeah, I think this will be a good idea for people to jump in and be like, okay, where you guys at, what you're struggling with, how can we help you? There's a lot of people on here that can give some value. And then also, if you guys just have general questions as well, just raise your hand. But yeah, we can do something kind of like the hot seat.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's limit it to 10 minutes tops. Actually, we'll do 7 minutes per person and see how many we can get. So if any of you guys are interested, whether you've done 100 deals or whether you're brand new, you don't even know what a deal looks like, what we'll do is we'll ask you some questions. We'll see what market you're in, where you're at in your journey, where you're stuck, where you're needing help with. So if you guys are interested at all in doing that, feel free to raise your hand and we'll bring you up and do that. And for those of you that don't get the opportunity or don't want to be highlighted like that, it might be good for you to hear some of, someone else's story where they're stuck. You'll definitely learn something from it. So.
And also, if you guys have a deal that you think is a deal, is possibly a lead right now, you can also raise your hand as well, and we can go over that with you too. So this can be like, we're opening it up to like kind of like, it's a broad topic of like Q&A, kind of like a hot seat. Do we maybe like underwriting, whatever you guys need help with, let us know. Cause I know there's been like quite a few people that have like a 1 in here. So this is your first time. So how can we best help serve you guys? Okay.
All right.
Do you want to unmute?
Let's see. Speaker. All right, Chris, how's it going?
Hey guys, good. I appreciate you you guys putting this together. So a little bit about me. I'm pretty new to Gator, and I'm in the DFW area. I've got all my business stuff put together. I've got the means and the ability to lend. I'm trying to squat up and get some partners together. And I'm just having a hard time with the socials, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm an old guy. I mean, just, and I hate to use the crutch. I was never involved with social media for a long time. And I'm getting auto denied for a lot of posts because I haven't had an account for quite some time. So a lot of my posts are just being, shot down. So, not to make, that an excuse. I am going to meetups. I met a bunch of groups of people. I'm partnering with a couple of people, but, I've yet to cross the finish line. I haven't deployed any funds. I've gotten asked for private money, which I haven't even done EMD yet. So, one step at a time. And I guess there are just so many different things that are available in the community. It's like drinking from a fire hose. And, my biggest, I guess, concern is, even though all of you lovely, beautiful people are there, what do I focus on? Where, I mean, it's kind of like the cat with the laser, right?
Yeah, you have shiny object syndrome.
Exactly. And I'm trying to look to do EMD, but I'm distracted by private money. I'm in Alpha Gator. I can do that. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I've got a website that's being done by the end of the month. Again, that's wonderful. I've got some means. I want to partner, but again, what am I doing? Where am I going? I'm just not able to pick the path.
Sure.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, good to know. So my first question, this is very basic. Do you have Blink? Have you heard of that?
Yes. Yeah. I've got the card. I've got that on the phone. I'm passing that out to everybody as I meet them. So yes.
Perfect. Okay. That just helps so much instead of business cards, because you can now capture someone else's contact info as well too. So have your Blink set up like Gator Lender, private money, whatever. And so that's great. And then you're right? Like Pace does this elephant challenge. He does this 0 down challenge about buying businesses. He's got Gator, wholesaling, wraps, flips. Like that's why it's called the elephant challenge, because it's this huge thing. And it's like, how do you get started? One bite at a time, right? So you are right in knowing that you have to focus on one thing. When I first joined Sub 2, that's exactly when Pay started the Gator thing. So sure enough, I got hooked. I called PCS. I paid for their credit building program, all of that, and was super excited to start loaning earnest money. At the same time, I also wanted to build a wholesale company. So they're very similar, but they're also very different. And I had to focus on one, and I picked building our wholesale operation versus loaning earnest money because I thought it was more scalable. Which in my opinion, it is. Not that Gator lending or loaning earnest money is not scalable. So you're in the DFW area. You're not a sub-2 student. No. Okay. So you're in the DFW. You're in a great place though. So definitely make sure that you're tied in with other sub-2 students in the DFW area. Someone in Gator, I would say there's two huge things that a Gator student, a Gator lender needs to be doing. One is connecting, right? So you need to be in the creative Facebook group, probably as much like 2 hours a day. Just spend your time, like, it's scrolling social media, right? Some people see that as a waste of time, but if you're in just the creative Facebook group, I guarantee this works for all of you guys in here that are maybe struggling to find your first deal. I'd be willing to put my house on it that if we scrolled through the creative Facebook group for 2 hours, I could find someone that's needing earnest money. I could find someone that has a seller and they don't know how to lock it up. I could find someone that has, maybe a fix and flipper looking to borrow money. Or I have someone that has money and is looking to lend it somewhere. So like, there's so many opportunities in the free creative Facebook. And as a Gator lender, you should be there shooting friend requests. I do this to this day when I'm on Facebook and I see someone has even 50 friends in common or 20 friends in common. I just am adding people on Facebook. Like when I'm kind of like jumping around, my mind's everywhere, I'll just look on Facebook and start adding people because I want 10,000 friends on Facebook because it doesn't hurt, right? It can only help to have that many friends and connections. So, and then not only when you make a post in these groups, you can also just post on your page and these 5,000 people that you're friends with will see it. So I would say you should definitely spend a lot of time networking on Facebook because you can find leads, like deals to be had, motivated sellers, wholesalers that need help finding buyers, earnest money, all that good stuff. Now, are you just looking to lend earnest money, or do you have, let's say, like a self-directed 401k or a HELOC you could tap into, or just money in the bank that you'd actually consider being a private money lender, like 40, 50 grand on a deal?
Right now, I'm looking just for earnest money. I've got enough to do. I mean, I've got a significant amount, but I still would want to do one step at a time. And there are some sub-2 students that I would be able to partner with, and I can go into private money for a shorter period of time, like 3 months, maybe 4 months, but a smaller dollar amount that I'm comfortable with, that I know that exists, and I can do that while I'm still lending EMD. So I know that exists, and that's okay for me for now. 20% is a great return, and that's okay. 30% is fantastic, and that's fine with me. If that's available, I'll take it all day, every day, because that's certainly not happening in my retirement account.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You're lucky to make 8% on your retirement account right now, right?
Right.
Like,
if it's not negative, right, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, so for your specific answer, I'm just looking right this minute to deploy EMD specifically. I will go 5-10 grand, for a short period of time to try and build up more money so I can do more things within a 6-month period or so. Then I'll be happy to move on from there.
Okay, great. Okay. So we're running out of time here, but so here's some actionable steps, right? So every Gator person that I talk to, I tell them this all at the same time. There's a lot of competition in the Gator program. There's, you don't have to be sub-2. right? There's so many people that are gators and have, you know, either a small line of credit or like $5,000 and they want to loan earnest money. So you have to do something to set yourself aside or apart from all those other people. For example, there's a sub-2 student. Her name is Heather Witzig. Maybe you've seen her in the Gator.
Yeah.
She's amazing at connecting. She's friends with everyone in sub-2. She is connected to all the wholesalers in sub-2 and a lot of the buyers too. So it helps that she's in sub-2. She's a mastermind. She goes to a lot of events. She's popular. Pace promotes her, right? But if you're not a pretty blonde lady that Pace promotes, right? How do you set yourself aside? And not that she's just pretty and blonde, but right. So I would say if I'm looking to borrow earnest money, how am I going to find it? Right. I'm going to connect with sub-2 students that I know have lent earnest money. But I'm also going to look for someone that I know has a lot of connections and can help me if I need it, right? Whether that's finding a buyer for my deal, maybe finding private money. So you can't only just be a Gator lender, you have to be a Gator wrestler. You have to be able to help someone find buyers, find title companies, find private money, hard money. So that's another thing. You know, be well connected. Again, that just comes down to being on Facebook and saying, hey, I'm looking to add people to my network who's buying sub-2 deals. Whether you want to wholesale sub-2 deals or not, if a wholesaler wants to bring a deal to you for you to loan earnest money, and you're like, yeah, I got a couple grand. Yeah, looks like a great deal. Here you go. Also, do you need help finding a buyer? Oh, okay. I know this buyer. Boom. Now, not only are you making return on your Gator money, but you're also now getting a cut, maybe a 30 or 50% JV split from their assignment fee. So try to add value on top of the earnest money, because everybody has $1,000 to $2,000 to loan someone. Now, on top of this, for everyone in here that's in Gator or you're considering Gator, this is by far, I think, the most important rule is you have to know how to underwrite. If you do not know how to underwrite a creative finance buy and hold, a creative finance wrap, a fix and flip, a multifamily deal, right? Whatever you're going to loan earnest money on, you have to know if that's a good deal, right? Like, I'm not going to loan money. I literally have a guy, he bugs me every 3 months or so. He's an EXP agent. I found him in the creative group like a year ago. He calls me and he's always like, hey man, I need $1,000 of earnest money today. I don't know why he always calls me last minute. And I'm like, okay, well, you know the process, right? Like, send me your contract, send me your ARV, send me your comps, send me your contractor quotes, right? And then I'll underwrite it. Sure enough, every time I look at it, right, his comps are off or his underwriting's off, his repair costs, like, even if his numbers are right, I'm like, well, look at it, dude. You're not going to make any money. It'll make $0. So I don't feel comfortable loaning this earnest money because you haven't done your due diligence. You will lose money. You're not going to be able to secure lending. You're going to find something wrong with inspection. You're going to have to terminate, and I'm going to lose my earnest money. So knowing how to look at a deal in 10 minutes, underwrite it, and determine whether that's a good deal or not is by far rule number one in the Gator program. And then number two is obviously make sure your paperwork's done right too. So, but that's, we'll leave it there, Chris. Hopefully that helps and gives you some clarity. Spend a lot of time on Facebook, add a ton of people from sub-2, connect with wholesalers. Obviously that's the name of the game, connect with wholesalers and buyers. So that way you can add value, and then be watching as many underwriting videos as you possibly can as well.
Cool. Thank you much.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Right on. Yeah. Love it. Thanks, Chris. All right.
Good.
Let's see.
I think the only thing I want to add to that is
Yeah.
the last part, what you just said, is the underwriting. A lot of people want to get into underwriting before a sub-2 because it's cheaper and it's like a smaller little thing. Instead of sub-2, there's so many different variables. It's like, where do you even start? So like
Gator?
What?
You said so many people want to get into underwriting before sub-2. You mean Gator?
Gator before sub-2. My bad.
Okay. No
Thanks. And then, so because of that, if you get into Gator before you lend money, make sure you go through all the contracts, all of the Zooms, and know how to underwrite a deal, because we don't want you to underwrite a deal and not know how to do it and then send you money. And so make sure you know how to underwrite. If you don't feel confident underwriting a deal, bring it to us. We can help you. But do not lend money if you do not know how to underwrite a deal for everyone here.
Yep. I think Pace does a good job. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I haven't been in the Gator trainings a long time, but yeah, hopefully Pace promotes that. And then obviously, yeah, vet your borrowers too. Make sure they've done deals, all that good stuff. All right, sweet. Let's see. We got Terrence next.
Hello.
What's up, brother? So, yeah, if you want to start out with, what market you're in, where you think you'd like to get started, where you think you're stuck at, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm living in Michigan, and I've been looking at Tennessee and North Carolina.
As your markets?
Yes.
Okay.
I've also been trying to see if there's any local meetups in Michigan, and I've been reaching out via messages on Facebook to no replies.
So you are in Michigan. Gabriella, she's a regional leader in Michigan, and she does sub to meetups, or just any meetup in general.
Are you
So
connected with Gabriella?
I will connect you. Or yeah, there she is.
This is Gabriella Deku.
So if you message her, tell her that I sent you. My name is Rachel. I know I'm on Angie's YouTube, but I am Rachel.
Mhm.
So tell her that I reached out to you, and I will shoot her a text right now that you are going to reach out to her. Wait till after your hot seat to do it.
Yeah.
Since you have 10 minutes, but I will let her know.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely connect with her. There's a handful of students in the, a decent amount in the Michigan market. So yeah, I don't know how often they host meetups, at least probably once a month, right, Rach? That's, I guess.
Yeah, they do a combination of a few meetups.
Okay. So yeah, definitely be a part of those. And then there's great, I think meetup.com. If you go to meetup.com, there's a lot of real estate investor meetups. So, also be tapped into your local Facebook groups, right? So Michigan real estate, I guarantee there's tons of meetups in your local market.
I was going through the Facebook Michigan real estate investment groups, just jumping in everyone I could see.
And
Yeah,
also,
there you go.
have to remember that Facebook algorithm literally sucks. So you can make a post, and sometimes a lot of people will see it. Some people, no one will see it. So keep that in mind too. So it's not like people are not trying to get back to you.
Yeah, I don't get demoralized by people not answering right away. There's life, and it doesn't do you any good to dwell on it.
Sweet. So what is your goal, Terrence? What would you like to do? Would you like to be a buyer, like buy and hold? Do you want to wholesale, you think? Do you want to be a Gator lender?
Yeah, what's your avatar?
I think my avatar is going to either be helper or connector, but that's going to have to be a later thing.
Okay, so helper or connector. Let's start out with what are your goals? For me, right? I love snowboarding and golfing. I'm not proficient enough to get paid at those. So I thought the best tool to get me financial freedom so I can golf and snowboard a lot is real estate, right? So I'm trying to build a portfolio of passive income, right? I also want a wholesale business. Passive income is the name of the game, so I can go do what I actually really want to do while making money at the same time. Is that kind of aligned with you, or what are your goals with real estate, you think?
Well, you know how they say to burn all the boats? Well, all my boats were burned. I didn't do it. It happened to me. I succinctly lost a job, a home, and then a couple months later, my wife. It's pretty much a country song minus the dog.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So right now I'm waiting on my EINs to come in, and then I'm going down to my local SBA office to see what I can get for grants and loans.
Okay. I love it. So your goal is to just make money quickly. It sounds like just start generating income so you could start paying some bills.
dig in hard, and
Okay,
start
so
to learn as much as I have been.
So a lot of times I think this might be a good idea, but we don't fully know all of your goals and everything and what you like to do. Like, okay, you said maybe you could be a cold caller for now as you're making those connections to be a helper and a connector. If you want to deep dive in, might be easier if you join a team, because we don't want you to, like, for example, like you're low on cash flow and that's totally okay with everything you've been through. That's understandable. So maybe you can do direct to agent, but maybe you might want to cold call for someone on someone's team. Do you think you would want to join a team, or do you want to try to do it on your own?
Yeah, I actually just reached out to someone earlier today. They wanted me to watch a Loom video, and I told them I had this Zoom coming up and that I'd watch it and then contact them after.
Okay. So we also have people on these calls Tuesdays and Fridays, and then for people that are coming, action takers, and want to join a team and elevate to the next step, we kind of call them like baby teens, baby elephant teenagers, and they cold call for us, and we'd have daily Zooms for us. So I would encourage you to watch them. If you want to think about joining our team to call, you can reach out to me
Okay.
and have a conversation. I would encourage you to kind of figure out if that's truly what you want. How many hours can you dedicate to it? And we'll help you get going. If you want to join that team, that's fine as well. But I would have some conversations and figure out what would be the best fit for you. Well, we do that in our Elephant Challenge.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in joining up. Anything to keep moving forward.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Terrence,
that are on our team. Sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
No, you're good. So yeah, I love it, right? You've burned your bridges, you're fired up, I can tell, right? You're motivated to I would say, I don't know if turn your life around, but like put yourself on a different path, right? So for me right now, like I just have like cut off some friends recently. I've kicked a roommate out of my house just because they're losers in my opinion, right? So I'm only trying to surround myself with like-minded people, and just surround myself with people that actually have goals and stuff, right? So maybe that's you, right? So it could all be for the better. But I will say, right, like if you're not sure how to, let's say if you're not good at the phones, if you're not sure how to comp properties, right? If you're not connected with buyers, right? Like have you done any real estate deals besides like maybe buying a primary or anything?
I haven't.
Okay. No, and that's fine, man. Like
I
a lot
used
of people
to
in here probably
own
haven't.
my own double wide trailer, but that's about as far as that goes.
Okay. So I would say, man, like quitting your job, getting some SBA loans, going into debt, right? And trying to figure it out when you've never done a deal. Like how long have you been into real estate? Like had an interest or read books or listened to podcasts? How long has it been?
Honestly, this last year, along with my life falling apart, I ended myself up in a ward. And after I got out, I've been climbing steadily. And the whole time I've been climbing, I've been consuming content
Okay.
and reading as much as possible.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. So, and that's the way to get started, right? Consuming content on YouTube, reading, listening to podcasts. That's the way to do it. Now, there's endless number of books, endless number of YouTube videos you can watch before you finally have to take some action and get started, right? So, and everybody's going to be on a different journey. So for you to do it alone, just like this is just coming from experience, man, it's going to be so difficult. We have a team of about 10 people that we all bounce ideas off of. We all have, different opinions on things. So a lot of feedback, a lot of resources coming together. So for sure, your number one like goal right now is to find a team that you jive with, Terrence, that you want to connect with. So, you know, we do market in Tennessee and South Carolina. I think those are great markets. I love those markets. They're parts of them are affordable. There's population growth, there's job growth. So I love those markets. We market there. So yeah, finding a team that you jive with, that you connect with. And then you have to pick something. So like a connector can be great. Like you can spend so much time on Facebook connecting people. It's hard to monetize that though, you know, like it's hard to build a business off of being a connector. So you have to pick a skill and get good at it, whether it's underwriting is a skill. Now I'll tell you guys what skills, what avatars, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, lead to you getting, let's say, commissions or money, right? It's going to be being good on the phones. So sales, right? Closing deals. Obviously, if you can get a seller to sign a contract and find a buyer to buy that contract, that's going to convert to some money, right? So underwriting deals, if you can be a gator lender and help people underwrite, that's going to convert. A connector, one idea is if you can start connecting with a ton of buyers, so find out who all the buyers are. Like I made this post, I think I can share this. If not, we'll figure it out. So Facebook, for those of you guys in here that are connectors, and maybe that's what you want to do, Pansy, if you're watching this.
I'm here.
You're here. Okay. So here's what I did. I just made this post in this Facebook group. It's called the Creative Finance Playbook with Jen and Joe. It's just another creative wholesaling group. I made a post. I have 5 sub-2 deals available for assignment right now in Colorado, Alabama, Louisiana. DM me to join my buyers list. I got 42 comments. So if you have deals, if you don't have deals, you can still make this post. Hey, I have 10 creative finance deals available right now. Whether you do or not, right? Look at the comments on this. So here's a buyer, Chris Colton. He sent me his email. Lauren, email. Lisa, email. Lillian, email. Colby, email. Like, look at all these emails. These are buyers sending me their email so that way I can send them the leads, right? Like, go find buyers and then, like, watch this. Creative Finance Playbook. All these people were interested in Louisiana, Alabama, and Colorado. What I'm going to do, gosh, Zoom is just all
Hey,
over the
Dill,
place.
I think,
Yeah.
I'm going to chime in a little bit here.
Please.
I think with people that don't have the experience of real estate and that kind of stuff, they just need to pick something and start doing that work, like connecting, like you're saying. And then by doing that work, you're going to get the skills to go on to the next things. Maybe it's going to take a long time. Maybe it's going to take a short time, depending on how you learn and how you apply them. But jumping in saying, I want to be a professional football player, but I've never played football. I don't know what a football is. Maybe start at learning what the uniform is and going to games and watching, getting involved to learn the skills and the characteristics that you're going to need to do all of these things that you want to do. I don't think there's a shortcut. You may be able to go out and find a deal, make money, but it'll be short-lived. To be consistent, you have to consistently have those skills, characteristics, and do it consistently to be able to get those deals flowing in. So I think it's just doing the work, but picking one piece of the work and doing that 100%, adding the little things on along the way, but picking that one thing and doing it 100%, connecting. Learn how to be the best connector. On the phones, learn how to be the best cold caller, if that's where you want to start. Learn how to, wherever you want to start. And I don't believe that in the beginning you could know your avatar 100%. I think you have to do stuff because you don't know what you don't know. So I always tell people, do all kinds of things in real estate. Go dabble in a few things, right? Then you'll find your avatar. But by dabbling, you're going to first do those tasks and duties of one thing. That's dabbling, right? You're going to try, being the best on the phones, and then maybe you don't like that for a little while, but try those out and then marry one of them. Marry one for whatever period of time till you get good at it, and then go to the next. If you try to do too many, like yours truly, I've done it and I still do it sometimes to this day, you get a little bit of good at a lot of things, but nothing goes to the finish line. Nothing goes to the closing table. It's a fire drill every time you have an opportunity for what you're doing. It's a fire drill because you've never married it and never got really good at just that one thing. And I sat through, I don't know how many hot seats, 20, 25 hot seats. And I was on the panel to help them at the mastermind in Arizona last week. And everybody has this problem. But the people who are doing well and better are the people who are marrying one thing and getting really good at it. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Hopefully that cleared up some things for you guys.
I love it. I think, yeah, I mean, just like how we talked to Chris, right? He wants to be a Gator lender. Marry that, right? Be connecting with people on Facebook, underwrite deals. Everything I gave him was just to get better at being a Gator lender. So it is tough to pick your avatar right off the bat. So yeah, dabble in a few things. Think of what
you may
like
be able to
do.
partner too with being a Gator, right? Maybe find a sub-2 student that's all they do. You partner with them. You're not making the lion's share, but you're getting a great education from them and seeing how it flows and getting better and better and better. And then go be your own Gator if you want. Or maybe that works. Maybe it's less hands-on. Excuse me, less hands-on, and you can make this much money. Now you can do 4 other things or another thing, and you don't have to do the Gator 100% because you got a good partner that does it 100%, and you're willing to make less of the deal because it's not taking up any of your or much of your time. So there's all sorts of ways you can do that.
I love it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And then just to finish my point too, Terrence, like if you want to be a connector, literally what I just did was typed in Alabama. Look at this, July 20th. This guy, Luca, posted a deal in Alabama. It's a while ago, but I could reach out to this guy and say, hey, do you have any other deals in Alabama that you're looking to sell? And then I could go down to these people that left all their comments and see if they're interested, right? So like, that's just one way you can find someone as a deal, find a buyer, and boom, bring it together. That's a great way to make some money as a connector. So just an idea there, but yeah, I think action steps for you, Terrence, find a team you jive with, see how you can help add value to their business, all that good stuff. So hopefully that helps, Terrence.
Oh, it's been a lot of help. Appreciate it all.
Thanks, brother.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Enrique, what's up, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you been?
Good, man. Good. How's Florida?
Good. It's a little cold today. I got my hoodie on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's great. So my question was about essentially like your buyers, because I have a couple of properties myself, so I'm always looking for deals and stuff. And I realize it's really hard to find deals that cash flow, especially the markets that I'm in, Chicago, Miami. So I was curious, are you selling to more flippers because, you know, they essentially add value to the property, they sell it on the market, people don't really care about making an investment on their home, you know, single family homes? Or are you selling to investors? Because that's what I've been, when I look at deals, I'm like, okay, this looks like it could be a deal. And then I underwrite it as if, you know, I was going to buy it as an investment. And it's so hard to find deals that cash flow, even with seller finance. So yeah, I was just curious about that.
Yeah. It's hard to find deals that cash flow, especially with seller finance, I'd say, because and especially in your markets too, Chicago, Miami, you know, certain parts of Chicago, obviously, but it's, yeah, I would say 70, maybe 80% of the deals that we've wholesaled, whether they're creative or cash, don't tend to cash flow. Our buyers have different exit strategies where they're going to turn them into traveling nurses or traveling nurse rentals. So that's another way you can look at it. But the majority of the time, they're going to either lose money on purpose for depreciation, or they're going to wrap it when it's a creative finance deal. So that's the majority of the properties we've sold, is they expect to lose money from a long-term rental, and they have a different exit strategy. So, you know, if a property cash flows long-term, amazing, but you always still want to have backup exit strategies. And then at a point to your markets, I would say properties above a $350,000 price range. This is just a generality. It's not an exact rule, but markets where the average home price is above 350, especially with interest rates now, they're not going to cash flow, because rent, the cost of owning versus the cost to rent is the cost of owning is a lot higher in these areas than the cost of rent. So just naturally, it's not going to cash flow. If you're buying $60,000 homes in, maybe in parts of Chicago, they will cash flow. So, but yeah, we do sell fix and flips where they can add value, but also those are tough to sell because homes aren't worth as much. So you have to buy deals at 40% or maybe 50% of the ARV, as to where before you could buy deals at 80% of the ARV. So it is getting tougher and tougher, but you don't have to worry about cash flow too much.
Okay. So essentially 80% of the deals that you're selling are to investors rather than value add flippers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're to buy and hold investors, whether they're going to wrap it, midterm rent it, or long-term rent it and lose money on purpose. So
Wow. Okay.
and those buyers are out there. That a lot of the deals I've sold a lot of the guys I've sold deals to where they are just going to put a tenant in there and lose it is because they work in, the tech industry or the oil industry, and they make so much money. Their tax bill every year is so huge. So they need to buy deals that lose money. So that way they can depreciate and write that off. So,
yeah. Wow.
Now,
yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And you're going to have buyers like that in Miami. Miami is not a cash flow state. It is an appreciation or cash flow area. It's an appreciation area. So here in Colorado, a duplex, like I implore you guys to go look on Zillow, find a duplex for sale. It's going to be $1 million if it's in the metro area. If it's anywhere 50 miles from Denver, it's going to be $1 million for a duplex. Not because that property cash flows, but because it's worth a lot. It just has this intrinsic value, so it appreciates. So some markets are appreciation states, some markets are cash flow states. Miami is an appreciation state 100%, and it's going downwards right now too. So it's not the best market. Miami's a very tough market, probably one of the most overinflated markets in the country right now.
Yeah, I'm also looking in Wisconsin, but there, they have the opposite thing where the rent isn't high enough to on most deals. The rent isn't high enough to sustain it, even though it's a cheaper price. Do you have like a LTV that you always look for, whether it's 80%, 70%, like a typical structure that you always try to do for your deals?
Yeah. So if I'm looking for deals and I'm looking for low equity sub 2, I'm looking for 80% loan to value or more, and they have a 4.5% interest rate or less. Those two factors are really all you need to be able to find a good deal. If it's under 4.5 interest rate, low equity, you can get into it for very cheap, and hopefully it will cash flow or at the very least break even, but you can still wrap it. Wisconsin's a good market. It's not going to be very competitive, is a plus side to it, but you're not going to have as many buyers. So there's a give and a take versus if you're marketing in Georgia, super competitive, but there's a ton of buyers. So there's a give and a take.
Are the majority of your deals sub 2 deals, or are they more cash deals?
Yeah, about 85% of our deals right now are sub 2, but we're really trying to, I would say this by next year, we'll be doing 50-50. We'll be doing 50% foreclosures, tax liens, probates, and 50% low equity creative finance deals.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that really helps. Thanks, bro.
Right on. Thanks, Enrique. Sweet. Let me just read some of the comments real quick, John and Santrell, make sure I'm not missing anything, and I'll get to you guys.
While Dylan is going over the comments, I did some of them. I just wanted to let you know that Stevie was able to help us out and make a loom for everyone going over our lead forms. So if you guys have any questions on how to fill out our lead forms, we made a loom video. It is posted in our Facebook group, and I did post it here in our Zoom.
Sweet. And yeah, we're probably going to be getting a new CRM here soon. So the lead forms will change anyways, but we'll make sure we let you guys know of that. Jen real quick asked a good question. Would you suggest pre-comping when reaching out to the seller just to give an idea if the property is a good deal without going through the in-depth process of doing the comp? I use Zillow for sale by owners for my leads. Jen, I would say probably not. You're going to waste a lot of time comping properties before you make that phone call. And your main goal is to figure out, why is that person selling? You need to get the 4 pillars. So that's your first goal. Make that phone call. Don't worry about comping it. Make that phone call. Why are they selling? What kind of distress are they in? Do they want to sell to gain something, or is it because they have a pain and that they need to solve a problem? So most FSBOs want to sell because they just want to make as much money as possible. They don't want to pay a real estate agent 3% to list it. They think they can do it themselves. You know, they're going to get top dollar. For sale by owner leads, this is from Pace and from our experience, are very tough to convert because they're doing it for sale by owner because they don't think they need anyone's help. So they're not open to listening to your opinion. And they don't want to share any money because they want all the money for themselves. So they're going to be very hard pressed to find like a discount or a deal from a FSBO. But I would say just call them, get their motivation. You know, you don't need to make an offer over the phone. Let them know, hey, I haven't really done my due diligence. I'm just seeing like what's going on. How's the condition of the home? You know, I see it's listed for this price. Is that your final price? And then, you know, what's your time frame? Do you need to sell, or are you just seeing what you'd get? And then, you know, what does it look like after you sell? Sort of why are you selling, right? Like what's their goal with selling? So get those 4 pillars. Now, once you think you have a hot lead, then go ahead and comp it. Holly says, Denver seems to be a tough market. Do you think I should choose different market? Denver's a tough market, Holly. It's a tough market to find fixed and flips, maybe, because it's an appreciation state. So you might be able to find homes at a cheap enough discount, but to find cash flow properties, pretty tough. You know, the average home price in Colorado is $500,000. In Denver, it's probably $600,000-$700,000. So you're just not going to find a property that rents for that much. Okay, let's see. Appreciate you, Enrique. Thanks, brother. Let's see. All right, John and Santrell. Did I say that right, Santrell?
Yes, Dylan, that was actually perfect. It's pronounced exactly how it's spelled. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Yeah.
Thank you so much for allowing me to ask this question. Chris Drum, really, I so appreciate your transparency because as a new Gator, that was really, it was a shiny syndrome. And I finally said to myself, you know what, you can't be involved in everything. It really is just get tunnel vision and decide what you want to do. I'm here tonight with my husband, John. He's actually in the Elephant Challenge. And so my goal was to be able to, for each of us to complement each other. So, Gator wise, my biggest thing I think was really just trying to figure out how to make the connections. I've reached out to people like Heather Witzig, and I'm developing a relationship with her as well. And I'm pushing to meet others. So you've given really great insight on how to reach people, because I'm not on social all the time. I work 9 to 5. And this is getting ready. I am a licensed insurance agent, and we are about to go into open enrollment. So it is going to be, as my husband would say, I get on the phone and I don't stop talking until after 5. So really just trying to find a rhythm for me. We started real estate a couple of years ago. We have hosted, we started off in the mobile home side of it, which we enjoy. We wholesaled a mobile home. We got very close to the finish line and a couple of other deals that didn't make it over, not because of our doing, it was because of who we were working with. So we're very comfortable with it. We had to take a step back for a little while, and now we're getting back into this. So the Gator part of it, I need to work to build up the capital because I really want to. I now see the value of PML. I used to think of PML, oh gosh, that's for other people. I could never do PML, right? Because you think that the numbers are so big, but I'm realizing in real estate that the numbers really aren't big. It's just, do the numbers make sense? So really just connecting. My avatar, because it's natural to who I am, is that helper. I know that, but I actually do from the training. I've realized just in sitting here listening to this, I do enjoy underwriting, reading, going through the Gator training and reading the contracts, as geeky as this may sound, was one of the most interesting things to me about the process. So really understanding that part and just connecting with people to get some deals done, using what I have. We're in the process with Prime to build our credit, our corporate credit, but we've made the decision that we're willing to use our personal credit if something came along, that way we could partner with someone to get our first deal. So that's really what this has been for me, is just trying to find that rhythm and make the connections that are necessary to grow this side of it. And really coming in here, joining this group, was to understand what my husband is learning and to see and to be able to truly be of service. I felt that was one of the wins that I posted. I joined this group. I'm reaching out, I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and wanting to learn from, to be of service to this group, and just really wanting to know how I can do that, and just really networking and who can I partner up with to grow this, because I'm already declaring that we will move into PML, absolutely. And it's just finding a path to do that with life going on.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And where are you guys located?
We are in Atlanta,
Yeah.
we're south of Atlanta.
Yep,
Mm.
Georgia. So we understand exactly what you say about competitive market.
Yeah.
Atlanta, when it comes to real estate, is competitive in every shape, form, and fashion. But we feel like, we have a little bit of an edge. It's our back door. We lived in many of the counties around Georgia. We know the area as well. So currently, we're working Georgia, Texas, and South Carolina. Like my wife said, we've had some deals that we've been right at the finish line with, but a young lady got cold feet. Her husband passed away in the home. She's emotionally attached, decided she didn't want to sell it. We've done some, we were wholesaling in the mobile homes when we didn't even know what wholesaling was. We use bandit signs. We had people call us up and say, hey, I'm trying to sell this house. Bam, we went to Facebook, we found a seller, we were able to sell it and make some cash on it. So we've actually, in that process, met other people in this area that led us not only to real estate, but led us to you guys through PACE. And I'm not a sub two student, but I've absolutely fallen in love with sub two creative financing and what you guys are doing. And I just wanted to just go out here and just encourage everybody and say, hey, I'm making those phone calls every day too, 5-10 phone calls a day, direct to agent, low equity. And it works. I've had some great conversations, some great leads, some follow-ups. It's working. Thank you.
Love it. Yeah, you guys seem like sub two students, like your vibe, your energy. I love it. You guys are amazing too. So 1,000%, you're in one of the best markets in the country for real estate, but also for connections, right? So
yes,
I would highly, highly, highly implore you guys to be at every single real estate meetup that you possibly can be.
Okay.
Sub two or not. So as John, as you like being right, like you're kind of bird dogging, right? Like this is what you're filling into. So understand that, right? Like try to connect with wholesalers that are doing deals, buyers that have multiple flips, right? Just try to provide value. So like I get DMs all the time of like, hey, do you have 30 minutes that you can help me with such and such? And I'm like, I just don't, right? Like what
right.
doesn't do anything for me. So lead with value, right? Like, hey, do you have an area you're looking to buy a house in? I could go door knock for you for free. Something like that, right? Like just provide as much value as you can. And then Centrell, you are an amazing speaker. I can tell you're very articulate. And I can tell you're analytical too, just like me. So you are right. If you like that underwriting part of that, get really good at underwriting. Also think of some other creative ways to leverage money. If you guys, it sounds like maybe you've been in insurance for a while. If you have like a 401k, Roth IRA, you can put that into a self-directed and be a private money lender with that money. So think big. You don't need to scale a business line of credit super quickly. If you have 20, 30, 40, 50K sitting in a 401k, making 6% in the stock market, maybe convert that to a self-directed and see if you can't lend to someone at 15% or 12% interest.
Good idea.
So I mean, we've borrowed money like that. We've borrowed money from someone that has a HELOC at 8% interest, but we're borrowing it from them at 10%. So they're just flipping their money, right? So tap into other lines of credit, 401ks that you guys have too. And then here's an idea for you, Santrell.
Okay.
What type of insurance do you do? Is it just general insurance?
Yes, it's
Home insurance?
life, health, and oh my gosh.
But not the
Dental,
employer.
right. It's not, I work for, I can say it here, I work for United Healthcare. So
Okay.
I'm a licensed agent. And so I talk insurance all day long, but yet I am a resident agent in Georgia and licensed in almost all 50 states for insurance as well.
Okay. So I've heard Pace talk about this and some other people. And I think there's laws to this, so I'm going to be very vague, but you can see someone who's delinquent on certain insurance, right? So when they're delinquent, like you'll get a notification, hey, this person hasn't paid their home insurance in a month. That could be a lead, right? So something like that. I don't know the laws, the legalities.
Right.
Do with that information as you can. Someone that works in insurance, right? You get notice of defaults. That might be someone who's in distress and needs help too, you know? Like it's not, you're just looking at it with dollar signs, but the more you help people, the more money you're going to make, right? Like,
That's right. That's right.
And that's exactly it. That, you know, that's the one thing that's that coaching and helping he has done. He should pat himself on the back. One of his coworkers who did not think he would ever be able to do it, he talked to him about creative finance, and he just did a creative finance deal for himself and purchased his own home after so many years. And this one did that. He coached him through. So he won't say it, but he is a leader and he is a helper as well, because we feel like there's enough room for everybody to win. So here's the information. We'll share it with you.
Yeah, I think we really had some proof of concept.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of really kind of helped move us forward, you know, in the last year or two. Is, you know, we've had a lot of proof of concept in mobile homes and in the real estate single family side of it. Now we're just trying to get pushed over, you know, to buy and hold and, you know, actually really get involved in the creative financing side because of interest rates. So, you know, our deals kind of fell apart right when the market was changing. And, you know, the sellers were saying, oh, I want $1 million for my house and someone's going to give it to me. And all of a sudden it went to, I'll take 300. And, you know, because the market just changed. And, you know, so, you know, we found out like, hey, we got to pivot. We got to do something different. Interest rates are higher. And that's when we started hearing and learning about the creative finance side of it and realized, oh, my God, there's so much more we can do, you know, rather than just sit here and say, what do we do as wholesalers?
I love it.
And as you can see, this is our happy place. So thank you so much for letting us be in the hot seat. Thank you.
Yeah, no, your guys' energy is amazing. I love it. So I want to end it. Let me give you guys some actionable steps. Okay. So Santrell, I think for you, you're working your 9 to 5, right? It sounds like you're going to be very busy coming up. So you don't have a ton of time. Spend your time, your free time that you do have on the Facebook marketplace. Again, I promise you, we have closed so many deals just by scrolling on Facebook. So Santrell, be on that Facebook group, promoting yourself like, hey, I'm a creative deal underwriter. I'm a Gator lender. I can help you underwrite and determine whether your deal is a good or not. I can maybe even help you find a buyer. So be on Facebook marketing and promoting yourself for Gator and helping people underwrite. That's such a huge aspect people need help with. Maybe leverage your insurance job in some way. You'll have to figure that out on your own.
Right.
I think there's something there. And then John, I think, are you working a 9 to 5 or are you doing this full time?
Yes, I worked a 9 to 5 for that big airline in Georgia. But it's an office job. I work 3 days a week, so I have a lot of time on my hands. So I'm ready for everything.
Beautiful, man. I would say connect with some of the big players in Atlanta. You need to be going to as many meetups as possible. You guys should both have Blink if you don't know what that is.
Yes, we just saw it yesterday. We were like, whoa.
Yeah. So make sure you guys have Blink. Be sharing your contact info. Dom is amazing at this. I get a little shy in person, but meet as many people as you can, shake as many hands, take pictures with the people you meet, send them the picture, text them the picture, say, hey, great connecting with you. I got you locked in my phone.
Awesome.
Santrell, you're very bubbly. I could tell you're easy guy to talk to. So you need to be connecting with high level players and trying to join someone's team as a bird dog. Hey, let me go door knock. Hey, I'll cold call. Hey, I also have access to private money, you know, if you're needed funding for anything like that. So those are your actionable steps. Meetups, trying to find the big players in Atlanta. There's tons of them. And yeah, hopefully those are some good actionable steps for you guys.
Wonderful.
They are. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Right
you,
on.
Dylan.
Thank you guys. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's
And then
see.
also just really quick, because I did post in the chat too, Eddie Charger and Chris Pod, they are both leaders in Atlanta, Georgia, and they host meetups.
Yes, thank
There you
you
go.
so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys. All right. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to everyone today. Sorry, David and Amy. We only have really one more to go, and then I have a meeting here about 5:30. I think I've asked
Do this again, everyone.
Yeah, we can do this again. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of like this more than the Q&A. Is kind of like a hot seat, help people out. So, all right, Luis.
Hey guys, what's going on? How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Happy to see you guys, man. Can't wait for every
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Let's go. I love it.
Hey, I have a question. Well, kind of a unique situation, not a unique situation, but I mean, this is the creative group, so I guess I thought I would bring it up here. I have a real estate agent that I'm in touch with, and she has a seller, two sellers actually. They both borrowed money to buy properties in the same area at about 18 to 20%. They haven't been able to sell these properties, right? And then I'm like, I haven't even gotten any offers. And at this point, they know they're gonna have to come out of pocket to pay for these. So I want to know if there is anything that we can come up with to make it worth our while and their time as well, and maybe help somebody out, or this is just like a keep them moving, just pass it.
And these are fix and flip investors that borrowed money to renovate a property. Yeah, there's not really much you can do because obviously the debt has very high interest. So nobody's going to want to take that over, right? It's not going to cash flow. Plus the lenders are most likely hard money. So you couldn't even buy it subject to. Those people, yeah, they're going to have to come out of pocket to sell that home. There's not much you can do. And they're investors. They're not really open to creative, even if it was possible, because they've most likely sunk a ton of money into that deal. So they need to pull that money back out to either go onto their next deal or pay off a lender, pay off their contractors, whatever. Yeah, anytime I look at a fix and flip and I can tell, hey, a fix and flipper just flipped this, there's hard money on it, though there's probably 99% chance that's not going to be a good lead. What they should do is just cash out refi, or they should just refinance into like an 8% interest and then rent it out, let the market settle, like stop the bleeding as much as you possibly can right now with a refinance,
that's
rent
a
it
big
out.
one.
Yeah, but aside from that, I mean, like you could help them get in touch with the lender, but they could do that. I'm sure they have lender connections. So I just, there's not really a clear path to make that work there. There's no real way you can help them that really solves their problem.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, I thought we'd just bring it out. Now there is another one that I have that these guys, they want to move out to another house. They they have an FHA on the one house that they're living in. For some reason, they're not getting they say that they haven't gotten approved for that conventional, because they want to buy the second property, but the lender is telling them that they have to get rid of their first FHA to be able to qualify for another FHA, or to be able to, and that they don't qualify for the conventional. So I offer, like, I can get on the phone, with them and the lender and find out why is it that they're not qualifying for the conventional, or what they need to do to qualify with the FHA. And I submitted the lead. I kind of wanted to send it to you guys, see if maybe there's anything that you could do, but I don't know. I didn't get a response back, so I don't know if you guys reached out to them or what stage it is, and if maybe I should reach out and follow up with the lead, or I don't know, maybe I just don't know.
So you sent it in already though?
I did.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't even worth our while, and that's probably why they didn't say anything back. But yeah, I kind of just didn't hear back, so I want to know if it's worthwhile or not. Maybe I should pursue it.
Yeah, and so check your emails too, because normally anytime we leave a note, like, hey, we just write a note on the lead in the CRM and say, hey, the interest rate's too high, or there's just they way overpaid for this property. It wouldn't be a good idea to pick this up. They leave those notes, and those notes are forwarded to you in the email. And then you can also reply to those emails, even though they're automated. Our team will get them, and you know, you can say, hey, what's the status of this? Just curious. And our team will see that and get back to you.
I did actually.
Okay.
I sent it to Robin. Robin does
Okay.
up to Mel. Again, you know, it was a few days back, so I don't want to lose the lead. I know it's still like out in the market, but I also don't want to like step over somebody's toes. Maybe like if they did reach out and then I'm calling them, hey, listen, you know, I don't know if one of my partners already spoke with you, you know, so like it wouldn't look professional. So
Yeah.
you know, at least if they can, you know, tell me, hey, Luis, just go call them yourself. Like I'll do that, man. So I don't have no problem.
Yeah. I would shoot an email to Robin and say, hey, Robin, I'm going to just contact them and see how they're doing. You know, get some more information, obviously, and then write back to her and say, hey, I got this information. We try to get to the leads as fast as we can. Sometimes it might take 72 hours. It might take 3 days for us to get to a lead. So that's why, you know, if you're antsy and you're like, this is a really hot lead, like, you know, I don't know what to do with it, just send another email and say, hey guys, sorry to bug you. You know, this lead is a little bit more time sensitive. Any updates on this one? Have you reached out? Blah, blah, blah. But that is a possibility. So write this down, Luis. It's called a departing residence.
Okay.
Write this down. Yeah. Departing residence / primary conversion. Now, what this is, for example, I bought my house on an FHA loan. Okay. FHA has a rule where I believe you have to live in it for either a year before you can sell it and 2 years before you can rent it, or maybe that's flip-flopped. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. But if they've lived in it for 2 years, they can turn that property into a rental. And as long as the rental income they're receiving covers the mortgage payment every month and then some, the lender will take that lease. So if they signed a 12-month lease agreement and it's, let's say their mortgage payment's $22,000 a month, and they signed a monthly rental lease for $2,500 a month for 12 months, that lender will take that lease agreement as evidence that they don't have that expense anymore, and it will clear it from their debt to income. So they can now keep this as a rental and go buy a home on a conventional loan as long as their credit score and their job history, everything's good. But if debt to income is the issue, if they can show a lender a signed 12-month lease agreement for, you know, a certain amount, I think it's like it has to be like 1.3% higher than their mortgage. But if they can show a lender, hey, here's a 12-month lease agreement, they can go get a new loan. It'll clear it from their debt to income. So that is a possibility.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's what I thought I would probably ask because they probably don't know that. So if I speak directly with the lender, I can find that out.
Yeah.
And one last thing, because I know you have,
go ahead.
You have a meeting. Is that if I ever want to send, like if I ever get to an agent and they want to use their own contracts, are there any resources that we have as far as like the addendums that I want to put in place? Because I don't have a lawyer, you know, that can like write those up for me. Or do we have anything like from the group we can possibly utilize if we're buying a subject to, just so I know I'm covered, as you know, whenever I put on a contract or.
So the only thing that we can't share as sub-2 students is the creative contract for seller finance and subject to, and the subject to addendum. We just can't hand those out all willy-nilly, but there are, you know, there is a free wholesale contract in cash in the Facebook group, but that you're asking like for the creative finance sub-2 contracts, essentially. Yeah. We just can't share those. The only option is to either one, pay an attorney to draft that document, or joint venture with sub-2 students.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And also add to everything. So if you guys are submitting a lead to us, we typically try to get back to you within 48 hours. If it is an emergency, there's a notes section in the lead form. Please emphasize that this is an extremely time sensitive. That will really help us. And then also, I know Stevie said, like in the chat, her email, her pro rep's email, and she will get in touch with Robin and check on like some things. But yes, please be patient. But then also I know in the past, people are saying that we're not getting back to them, but we've sent emails to them asking for additional information and we have not gotten them. And we've also followed up again. So please check your spam and everything and make sure that you guys are getting emails from us.
Got you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'll for sure.
That's all I got, Dylan. Dylan, you are muted.
Yeah.
I'm muted. All right, sweet. Thanks, Luis. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I would say call those sellers and tell them to ask their lender about a departing residence. That
Gotcha.
lender
All
will
right.
know what a departing residence is. So for sure.
Will do. Thank you, man.
Right on. Appreciate it, man. All right, guys. Well, yeah, thank you for showing up. We definitely got a little bit bigger of a crowd. So I'm gonna end it here shortly, right after I do this one last thing. Everybody stick around. Nobody leave. Nobody leave.
Self-promotion.
Luis already knows what's coming. I actually changed my handle. Let's see if it works.
I couldn't find it the other Friday. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. It is so confusing. So I'm glad you
Someone
did.
told me to change it because they thought it was like very hard. So here it is.
You also just
Um,
type in Dylan's name on Instagram, it'll pop up.
There's a few
It's
Dylan
his
Eggers, but
name official.
yeah, there we go. But yeah, if all of you guys in here could come follow your boy on Instagram, I would greatly appreciate it. I just dropped the link for that in the chat. But yeah, it's just my name and then official, Dylan Eggers official. I just changed it because
Much better.
people were having a hard time finding me with my old name. So that's the Instagram. If you guys could come follow your boy on Instagram, I greatly appreciate it. And then let's see, I'm letting you guys write that down. All right. So yeah, so our next Zoom will be Friday. We're gonna have something more planned. We're in the process of like getting a new CRM, building a website. So there's a lot of stuff moving for us. We're trying to get more organized, more structured. So on Friday, I think we're gonna go over foreclosures. That's the game plan. So if you guys want to learn about foreclosures, direct to seller, all that good stuff, make sure you show up on Friday. In the meantime, Rachel, is there anything that we need to remind them of? Any meetups or meetings, anything like that?
No, just Friday we'll be doing more of the pre-foreclosures and I gave them the meetuplink.com. Please be patient with the whole circle app thing. Pace is figuring things out. Our Facebook group is where you can go and check all the updates and everything like that. And some of you here, I know I still need to call you. So I will be doing that either today or tomorrow. So thank you and please be patient with all of us.
And I just say, jump into that Loom on the lead form, because that's going to be super helpful for us to be able to get all the information that we need to get the best lead for you guys to submit that information.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you Friday. Have a good week and we'll see you then.